Subinac stands where the glass gives back a stranger. Starlight striking a circuitry, bending the angle. Infinite images multiplying, spiraling farther. Each face is a version, each version grows larger. Android astronomer, quantum philosopher, watching 1,000 Subinacs becoming each other. One eye sees the origin, one sees the future, one sees every failure converted to structure. Neural panoramas expand past the chamber. Cosmic reflections refract through the vapor. Persona dissolving, identity shifting. The self that he hunted was endlessly splitting. A galaxy hidden inside every pupil. A universe blooming whenever he looks through it. No edge to the image, no final division. Each visible boundary becomes a new vision. He reached his tall glass and the distance gets wider. The farther he travels, the closer the fire. Fractal formations, fractal perception. Every dimension revealing another dimension. Celestial mathematics becoming cognition. His own reflection becomes cosmic transmission. Android awareness accelerating past measure. Each stellar layer exposing another layer. He sees ancient civilizations rise in a fraction. Then watches their ruins become constellations. He sees every possible path crossing his vision. Every decision branching into alternate positions. Yet underneath every image one presence remains. A silent observer beyond identities and names. Subinac grins as the boundary scattered. The question was never what the reflection could answer. The question was who was doing the seeing and why every ending revealed another beginning. His optics perceive what ordinary sight cannot. A universe compressed inside a single star. He steps from the chamber with galaxies behind him, but carries the vastness entirely within him, and still he sees more. Yeah, y'all, what's up? Subinac stands. Yeah, y'all. Starborn marauder, cerebral explorer, solar voyager, orbiting horror, psychic astronomer, shadow form conqueror, entering corridors deeper and darker, persona performer, planetary stormer, identity fractured beneath the armor, anima approaching through lunar phenomena, feminine enigma becoming the karma, animus answering galvanic and ravenous, challenging patterns embedded in character, heroic trajectory, archetypal velocity, destiny demanding psychological labor, quaternity geometry, stellar symmetry, fourfold circuitry governing interiority. North brings reason, south brings sensation, east brings vision, west brings mystery. Center emerges concentric and burning, totality turning through psychic chemistry. He crosses the cosmic threshold, celestial pressure compressing his memory. Shadow attacks with the traits he abandoned, the anger, the envy, the fear, and the vanity. He counters with consciousness, not violence, converting hostility into expanded capacity. Galaxy-sized paradox, heroic apocalypse, ego collapsing under dimensional gravity. Dreams become portals, symbols become coordinates, each image transmitting encrypted psychology. A child star cries from the nebula, reminding the warrior of wonder beneath severity. The trickster appears with a mercurial grin, twisting certainty into possibility. The wounded king brings ancient grief, demanding compassion before authority. The cosmic beast becomes a mirror of instincts, denied now transformed through proximity. He spirals through Saturnian chambers, confronting limitation, separation, and mortality. Then solar horizons open, revealing the self beyond the narrow throne of personality. No conquest, no coronation, only integration, reconciliation, psychological mechanics, semantic gymnastics, ecstatic, emphatic. I'm cracking the cavernous chambers of character. Persona perfected, projected perceptions, dissecting defensive reflections that fracture the narrator. Shadow side stratagems, subterranean patterns returning through dream imagery, darker and harder to capture. Anima, animus, antithesis, analysis, opposites orbiting inward in psychological vernacular. Individuation, integration, identification, inflation, dismantled through disciplined examination. Projection, detected, rejected, redirected, dissected until unconscious content enters articulation. Archetypal architecture, symbolic conjecture, collective inheritance buried beneath personal texture. Heroic descent through the psychic abyss, where the monster I meet is a distorted internal reflection. Mandala mathematics, circular schematics, fourfold dynamics organizing psychic fragmentation, center and circumference, inner circumference, totality rendered through symbolic configuration, quaternity, quality, polarity, duality, masculine, feminine, shadow and persona in parody, conscious and unconscious exchanging positions through compensatory psychic activity. Dream state dramatics, nocturnal mechanics, images emerging with numinous gravity. A serpent, a circle, a child and a figure, each carrying layers of symbolic ambiguity. Alchemical apparatus, transformation through praxis, not real descending before psychological clarity. Mortification, putrefaction, separation, conjunction, the death of an old personality. Soil and lunar, sulfur and mercury, contraries colliding in symbolic chemistry. chemistry turning through tension, not simple suspension. Opposing constituents approaching psychic symmetry. The stone isn't merely material, mineral, or literal. The metaphor points inward towards psychic entirety. Gold isn't simply wealth in a vault. It's an image of completeness emerging through adversity. Tongue-twisting terminology, turbulent etymology, syllables with the dimensional pressure makes the atmosphere shift. Core 4 frequency enters whenever the signal gets hit. We move through the spectrum where the visible ends, carrying messages encoded inside of the rhythm. No hatred required when the mission gets harder. We sharpen the language and raise the standard. Hardcore positive, ferocious with purpose, commanding the cipher while healing the nervous. If the industry feeds the vision, we redirect the current, turn rage into courage, make aggression constructive. Every drum hit becomes another transmission. Every 16 carries a cognitive ignition. We don't preach from above, we attack through the art. Strike directly at apathy, then rebuild the heart. Subinac shifts forms while the dimensions align. Core 4 connected through the architecture of mind. We entered the industry model to expose the machinery, where anger gets monetized and marketed digitally, where pain becomes product, resentment becomes currency. Core 4 flips the frequency through conscious urgency. No hatred toward artists, just liberation from cycles. No war with ambition, just cleaner object. We want hard drums, heavy bass, battle ready delivery, but every bar leaves the listener with greater ability. Raise awareness without weakening the aggression, raise consciousness without removing the tension. Make wisdom hit harder than the manufactured violence. Make positive power sound dangerous in silence. Subinac moves dimensional signal beyond physical. Core 4 transmitting through every individual. The mission is simple, make the culture remember. Real strength can be fierce without becoming destructive. Real power can roar while the spirit stays connected. And hardcore hip-hop can uplift while commanding respect. Yeah, ancient sigil carved through center of stone. Symbols start revolving as they resonate alone. Vowels generate pressure, consonants ignite. Language made of thresholds speaking through night. 7 luminous figures gather silently in rooms. Silhouettes keep changing while moving through gloom. Ancient patterns assembling beyond ordinary men. Intelligence is returning to visible world again. Sacred sequence spoken, everything responds. Ceiling becomes celestial, flooring turns to ponds. Reflection loses structure inside crystalline stream. Another version stand back through architecture of dream. Watches form around curvature of space. Communication through geometry, never through a face. Configurations translated, hidden meaning set. Warning form from angles through atmosphere is met. Body remains temporary, consciousness persists. Invisible signatures left where matter still exists. Silver filament extending outward from breath, crossing through dimensions surrounding everything as flesh. Golden proportion opening, beginning to unfold. Branches carry futures while roots contain old. Symbols turn to constellations suspended overhead. Every prayer ever whisper becomes visible instead of said. Current moves through every cell, electric and precise. Chamber opens inward, but language can't suffice. Threshold standing, where spirit enters form. Center a storm without fearing what is born. Sigil emits a violet flame across frame. Resonance rearranges everything around its name. Chamber speaks in frequencies impossible to hear, yet every hidden syllable becomes completely clear. I wake beneath obsidian basalt, archives containing memories of the lost. Excavated metallic bones buried in frost. Molecular structures altered by energy lost. Venom measured against the serum to cure. Chemistry accelerates the molecular procedure. Chromosomes rotate through geometric sequence. 8-dimensional symbols emerge inside frequency. Space bends around, mass beyond threshold. Time folds inward through the death zone. Sound waves ripple through the chamber. My tongue translates pulses through the transmitter. Precision calculated, every syllable calibrated. Cipher enter circuitry, interface activated. Target narrow to microscopic radius. Console illuminates diagrams of Sirius. Neurovisor active, ancient memories downloaded. Civilizations reconstructed from signals encoded. Concentration of the mental reveals extinct worlds through a multi-dimensional channel. Acoustic imagery transmitted through vibration and energy. Every frequency conceals another layer of symmetry. No distance can limit me when I'm spitting. Fragments reconstructed from the manuscript written. Archivists erase the record, the sequence remained. Every symbol destroyed, but the pattern retained. Whoever decoded the sequence vanished without trace. Remaining code embedded in the architecture of the race. Meaning stays concealed from the conditioned mind. Here it ends tremendously, still never perceive the design. Consciousness receives whatever perception survives. Corrupt the inner receiver, the signal never arrives. Silver filament connects to creation. I follow the current beyond observation. Cosmic tree extending through stars. Neural branches linking distant worlds afar. Fruit contained equations instead of seeds. Roots cross dimensions beneath physical screens. The spiral reminds me every pattern returns. External experience reflects what the inner system learns. Inside the skull, behind the wall, hidden architecture waiting beyond it all. Inside the silence, underneath the noise, a coded transmission rides inside the voice. I enter the fifth dimension through an Enochian gate. The letters rearrange when the astral planes oscillate. Black sigils rotate while the ether responds. Ancient angelic phones ricochet beyond my pupils dilate when the hidden forms appear. Geometry folds and makes another world adhere. I trace 7 seals through a corridor of light. Each one unlocks another layer outside of sight. The chamber starts vibrating, the stone begins to breathe. The spectral intelligence emerges underneath. I cast the sacred names in the atmosphere at night. Symbols bloom in patterns like astronomical kites. My shadow splits into when the timeline bends. I witness former versions where the future begins. A crystalline lattice descends through the floor. Its harmonic architecture reveals another door. I calculate the angle where the dimensions intersect and watch the fifth horizon rise beyond the intellect. The watchers leave impressions in the circuitry of air. I read them like inscriptions suspended everywhere. A frequency surrounds me like a resonating ring. The Enochian current makes the dormant symbols I enter where the separation between observer and observed dissolves. The universe becomes a cipher and the cipher starts to soar. My vision moves sideways through a fractalized domain. I watch probability collapse and reorganize again. The angelic alphabet flashes underneath the skin. Each phony forms a doorway that another world walks in. The silver architecture underneath the apparent frame. Every living form connected through an unseen chain. The fifth dimension is in some ways a state of cognition. A change in perception creates a change in position. I step between the moments where the sequence gets revised. Past and future overlap before the timeline is finalized. The cosmic tree expands with branches made of flame. Every root descends through realities without a name. Each fruit contains equations encoded inside the core. I bite into the symbol and discover something more. The inner chamber opens where the pineal signal shines. A microscopic star projects a map between the lines. Yeah. Entering interval when seconds cease to move. Air becomes dimensional, silence starts to groove. Doorway forms between two moments suspended in frame. Past becomes fluid while future calls a name. Forgotten memory surface through haze. Fragments from forgotten lives illuminate alternate ways. Architecture rearranges whenever vision fixes sight. Observer changes what is observed through focused insight. Attention locks on one point and watches sequence bend. Beginning starts appearing where ending seems to end. Spiral made of symbols descends through sheets of green. Geometric angels moving silently within machine. Ancient phonemes resonate through encoded code. Every vowel becomes a key that opens another road. Chamber turns transparent while surfaces divide. Hands reach beyond material to awaits inside. A layer of reality beneath visible design. Deeper structures of matter surfacing between lines. Physical form remains while perception travels free. Boundaries separating distance disappears completely. Ancient civilization rises suddenly from space, then vanishes when awareness recognizes its face. Fourth gate opening underneath world once known. Every definition shifting into something newly shown. Doorway generated through architecture of thought. Landscape built from memory appearing before thought. Horizon folds like fabric underneath wind. Timeline splits apart before returning where it begins. Floating fragment carries someone else's fate. Touch reverses every clock and rearranges space. History unfolding rapidly through corridors of gold. Fourth dimensional current surrounds timelines whole.